Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to our IXION Let's Play, where the hunt continues. The Piranesi is terrifyingly close to us folks as we're stationed around 12F, with only a handful of planets left to which we can go that aren't currently being hit by drone swarms. 12J, 12C, 12L, and even 12D are all surrounded by drones, meaning if we station around them, we're going to see a negative 120 to our balance per cycle, and that means we can only go to 12G, 12H, and 12E, because I'm fairly certain that 12F is going to be hit by a drone swarm pretty soon as well. Now, not all is lost, obviously. There is some hope. In about 2.2 cycles time, we'll be ready to pull the trigger on this pulsar, except that's not the whole truth, is it? Because we can't just pull the trigger on the pulsar without making sure we've built our Faraday cage. And this thing is going to take 480 polymers. Folks, our entire stockpile has been pretty much drained, and we're still not even close to beginning construction over there. Let's take a look actually at how much we still need. If we take a look at our EVA airlock, you can see it's about 160 polymers or so we still need to produce and deliver before we're able to even begin construction on the Faraday cage. So there is a lot of time that's going to be consumed by this preparation, and truth be told, I don't think that much time is left for us. We need to move quickly. We have to accelerate. We have to get that cage built because until it is ready, we can't pull the trigger on this, we can't defeat the Piranesi, and we can't leave this system. And if these drones stay behind, even after the Piranesi has been disabled, we're in extra trouble. I didn't even consider that as a possibility until just now. So, not to say I'm panicking, but I'm certainly a little concerned. To that end, folks, let's make sure we produce those polymers as quickly as possible and have them delivered as quickly as possible so that we can get the cage built as quickly as possible. Let's take a look at our situation over here in Sector 2, our industrial sector, and let's consider removing the waste treatment center to instead replace it with an additional polymer refinery. If we take a look at the waste treatment center that is currently, yes, producing polymers, it produces 20 in 10 cycles, which isn't nothing, but it doesn't even come close to what the polymer refinery can do. In 0.6 cycles, it produces 5. So if we just multiply this by 10 for just quick math, in 6 cycles, it produces 50. 10 cycles, 20. 6 cycles, 50. An additional polymer refinery will work so much faster than the waste treatment center. It just makes sense to dismantle this thing and replace it for the time being. And again, truth be told, that's something we were considering in the past as well, because we were thinking about focusing our waste-related production into Sector 5. So maybe we kind of keep that going and use this as an opportunity to encourage that movement. To that end, though, let's also make sure the Exo Fighting Dome is currently being built, and I do believe the construction mech is over here right now. I hesitate to call it a mech because it is a person that is actually operating it, so I guess that is what makes it a mech. It's not a robot, it's a mech because it's operated by a pilot. Anyway, the Exo Fighting Dome is being built right now, which is going to be very helpful with regards to our stability, which is all right across the board right now, but who knows what could go sideways. But for the time being, it is okay thanks to some of the technology we researched, right, improving our propaganda. But let's get this Exo Fighting Dome up and running, and separately, let's also unpause the construction of this waste treatment center, and let's make sure that this stockpile over here is no longer stockpiling anything. Let's have all those alloys moved to this stockpile instead, and then let's replace this over here with an additional waste treatment center as per the plan from the previous session, right? We have a waste stockpile over here, so plenty of throughput, and hopefully this pair of waste treatment centers will make up for our missing waste treatment center up over here as we begin to, yes, dismantle it and replace it with a polymer refinery. We need to get those polymers built ASAP. Might I regret this down the line? A little bit, maybe, but we're in a bit of an emergency situation, and I don't think it calls for either of two things. Having a polymer refinery over here involves needing to actually bring in the carbon and stockpile it and make sure there's a movement of raw materials, which we don't have to worry about in Sector 2, which is why I'm opting for this. And I also don't think it calls for the opening of Sector 6, because don't forget, if we open an additional sector, we take a further hit to our hull depletion rate, right? So we don't want to tempt fate like that. Unless it's necessary, I'm not going to open Sector 6. And for the time being, it's not necessary. I saw a couple of you ask that question in the comment section of the previous episode, so I just want to clarify that as well. That's one of the main reasons why I don't want to open Sector 6, apart from the investment in resources, both material and human. With all that said and done, I think we're good to resume time here. And just got to keep an eye on our situation over here to make sure we do replace this as soon as it becomes possible. Do we have enough room in the stockpile for trash here? We do indeed. Okay, so that should be emptied out. Do we have enough room for alloys? That we do not. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure that Sector 2 is pushing alloys out to Sector 4. Yeah, that should be okay, right? Because, yeah, Sector 4. Yeah, should be okay. Should be okay. Hopefully that does work out, because we need to get rid of this thing. Separately, on the topic of getting rid of buildings, it seems I was needlessly getting rid of mess halls. As some of you pointed out in the comments of the previous episode, I simply need to turn the mess halls off and on again if they get hacked. And honestly, kind of kicking myself. That's the go-to response to any kind of IT trouble. Have you tried turning it off and on again? And you know what? Rather than doing that, I decided to dismantle the buildings and rebuild them, whereas I could have just flipped the switch off and on. And look, that's hilarious to me. And a good note as well. I'll keep that in mind for the next time when we get hacked. But for the time being, it's just something to think back on fondly. Let's call it fondly. Paranesi's getting very close. I think it's time to leave 12F. I was hoping to pick some of these guys up before we left. I don't know if we have enough juice to move up this way and then go to 12G. The only reason I would do that is to pick some of these guys up en route. I don't know if that's worth it, because again, we would take a bit of a beating from the drones when we arrive at 12J, and we'd sit there and kind of rotate and get into position, taking a lot of damage, right? It's a hull integrity of -120 when we're in the drone swarm, which isn't great. So I just wonder, or do I just go straight towards 12G, going through the drone swarm myself as we pass past the Paranesi, or 12H to stay clear of it? And these guys will kind of like have to make their way over. Some of these mining ships are looking for repairs. A lot of these cargo ships are carrying resources. You know what? Okay, let's let them drop their current resources off, and then we'll move. Because otherwise, they're going to spend God knows how long trying to drop the iron off, and we do need iron. It's not terrifyingly low, our current amount of iron, but I don't want to get too relaxed either. Okay, this is terrifyingly close, though. Can you guys move just a little bit faster? There is tech I could research to get her done, I suppose. Maybe I should consider that. These guys are about to arrive. We might leave this guy out there. Come on, a little bit closer. Now, we gotta go. Let's move the Tiqqun over to 12H, and hopefully they'll be able to intercept us en route or something like that. 12G still goes through the drone swarm, which isn't the end of the world, but I would rather not be surprised. You know what I mean? Let's play it safe. There are lives on the line. Let's go. To 12H, 3 cycles. We've got enough juice for sure. Plenty of batteries. I'm sure we'll be fine. Famous last words, of course. I'm sure we'll be fine. But no, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be A-okay. Back to the interior over here. 60 alloys need moving. Are we not moving these alloys? Can I not prioritize the clearing of this space? Do I need to temporarily assign something else to alloy storage? Not that we have that kind of room. Come on, buddy. Come on. Work with me here. Resource management. I guess Sector 1. You could max out on alloys, as the Icarus 3 probe has been completed. But we can't do anything there because we got to build that Faraday cage first. I don't even want to mistakenly click on that event and do something that destroys the Tiqqun for a surprise achievement or something silly like that. I don't need that in my life. I need survival. The Exo Fighting Dome, meanwhile, has been built. Indeed it has. There we go. Excellent. So that's +1 in this sector. There we go. +2 in this sector. And I do believe that'll spread across the board. So 4 over here, 3 over here. Do we have the +2 from the Exo Fighting Dome? We do indeed. Over here we got +2 from the Exo Fighting Dome for a total of 3. Over here, total of 5. Same thing. We got that Exo Fighting Dome. And over here, 5. Yeah, look, I think we're going to be fine for stability for the foreseeable future. Alloys are being shipped, so that's great to see. Good stuff. Just had to make the room over here, and then we'll be able to build the refinery. Come on, buddy. Come on. We're still hurtling through space. Yeah. Did we manage to avoid the Paranesi? Okay, good. Good. This isn't so bad. I was worried. Oh, are you for real? You know what? This actually works out. This actually, I think, works out because I would much rather have the drone swarm at 12H which isn't surrounded by all that many resources, rather than 12G or even 12F. 12F is actually a great place for us to be, and because that drone swarm was launched after we left, that worked out beautifully. We can still come back to 12F until the next drone swarm gets launched. So we bought ourselves some time at 12F. That's promising. But we are running out of planets to go to, as another missile has been launched towards the Tiqqun. Countermeasures go. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. It's so weird how the map kind of operates when you're in motion, but that should be okay. Sounds good. We're okay. Back to the interior. Come on, 13 more alloys need to go. Just need a bit of movement here. Actually, can we? No way, that was really it. Come on, really? I was expecting the challenge to be a lot more terrifying at this stage of the game, and so I was like, oh, let's try destroying these buildings and rebuilding them in time. Maybe that'll be the trick. I can't believe wow. Really should have applied Occam's razor there, eh? But hey, this is great timing too. All these cargo ships are going to arrive here just as we arrive around 12H, so that's worked out nicely. And we have a few cycles left before the drone swarm actually arrives as well. So that's all well and good, but the top concern right now is, yes, the Faraday cage. My goodness, come on. 10 more alloys. And it's not even like I can stack the construction at the same spot. I mean, I guess I could get the construction of a battery going over here just so that they move some of those alloys somewhere. That is an option, and honestly, you know what? Just to get the ball rolling. Let's go. Yeah, bring all those over. This is just a movement of goods, really. Yeah, that's enough. Let's go ahead and pause your construction because we don't actually need you. And let's empty this guy. Let's go. Quick. Hurry it up. 10 polymers. How many more do we need over here? We're at 357, so we need about 130, give or take. We're getting there. But we only have so much time. Why are you not being torn down? There we go, finally. All right, let's go ahead and build our additional polymer refinery. Where'd you go, buddy? There you are. Let's place you up like this. Sure. Puts it closer to the carbon and everything. And it shouldn't take too long to get this thing built. Let's go ahead and... I'm not going to assign the dismantling over here because I want to make sure this construction is actually prioritized. It's going to take some time for these guys to get up there. Let's go ahead and build this road just so that this connection is made. I don't know if the construction... Yeah, mech is free right now, so the delivery of additional goods will be a little bit faster. Every second counts, or at least it feels that way. Every second counts. And do we have any additional upgrades for the polymer refinery? We do not. They're topped up. They're as good as they can be, so that's all well and good. What about the Exo Fighting Dome? History of violence? Let's research that. Get the extra stability. Not that we need it, but we got the science to back us up. And let's go ahead and leave 12H, head on over to 12G, because, yeah, we got drones over here now. Let's move. Oh boy, this is getting real tight. This is getting real tight. We're running out of planets. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but it was pointed out in the comments a couple of times, very coyly, hey, maybe you should have an additional polymer refinery. Maybe it's not a bad idea. And at the time I was thinking, what would I need it for? Probes are being built quickly enough. We don't need more probes more quickly. Yeah, every once in a while for solar panels, I suppose, but like, you know, we were never really up against a wall. We came close, but it was never that bad. So I took the feedback and I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. If I ever feel like the pressure's on, I'll build an additional polymer refinery. But it went from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds flat. And here we are now. Do I want to build another polymer refinery here? No, because then we have to deal with the movement of goods. Let's keep it simple. Let's get the waste treatment center over here. Get you facing this way. Yeah, sure. Push you up there. And let's make sure you are producing polymers. And make sure you're producing polymers as well when the time comes to make the call. And do we have a place to put all those polymers? We do not. So, to that end, we do still ultimately need to put a stockpile down. Keep it a small one. And assign you to polymers. Alright, cool. Trash is coming through. That's all well and good. What's your problem right now? Not connected to a stockpile. Well, that one's being built right now, so that should work out. It's still producing goods. It's not like we're at a bottleneck or anything. But I'm glad I noticed that before, you know, too much time was, let's call it, wasted. All right, I don't think I'll ever have to worry about stability again. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool that they have these animations in there and everything. You know what? Oh my god. Looks like a waste of resources. I'm sure this is going to result in an event where people die or get horribly maimed or injured or something. It's gotta be. But hey, at least stability is good, right? I guess there's that. I guess there's that. We still moving people over, still waking them up? I believe we are. We must be. So that's all well and good. You know what? We actually have 50 polymers just sitting here. Okay, let's flip to polymers for a second. And let's make sure that Sector 4 polymers is set to minimum. Let's make sure Sector 3 is still chasing them. Yeah, okay, let's get these guys moving. Let's get these guys moving. We're almost there. Okay. Okay, seeing us at the 400s now, I feel a lot better. We still got, you know, a ways to go, but we just gained access to 40 polymers that I forgot we had, so that's promising. It means we only have 40 polymers that we still need. Now, granted, getting the polymers from here to here will take some time, but at least it's happening. At least it's happening. This thing is still not even built yet. Wow, maybe I should have just left the the waste treatment center over here instead. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. I should perhaps adjust my stockpile of waste over here, because this is being unentirely intended wasted. So I should perhaps reconsider that. Whereas Sector 1 seems to be working optimally, more or less. Could use a bit more waste over here, I suppose, but food has basically never been an issue for us, so I think we're fine. I'll make some tweaks further down the line if I feel it's necessary, though for the time being, everything is operating smoothly enough. Would I call it optimally? No, but smoothly enough. Smoothly enough. Alright, these polymers are almost all gone. Just got to pick up the last 5, and then we can flip you back to cryonic pods, so we can keep the movement of cryonic pods going. Seems as though some drones are still picking them up, despite this not being assigned appropriately. So, that's interesting. So why does it say 20, when it's quite clearly 5? Nonetheless, what's the deal up over here? We're getting there. We're getting there. This thing's up and running now. Excellent. This thing's up and running. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Again, these guys are also used to produce countermeasures, let's not forget. So, you know, there's that. Let's take a look and see. Oh my god! Oh no! It's time to go. Let's leave. Let's leave. Let's leave. Let's leave. Over to 12F. Away we go. I did not realize the Piranesi was right on top of us. Oh my god. I don't know if anything special happens if it does end up right on top of us, but it obviously has that drone swarm around it, right? Which I'm pretty sure is going to hit us right now. No, it's not. Oh, we're actually okay in transit. Ah, nope, there we are. And a missile too? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Countermeasure. Nice try, Piranesi. Nice try. Real cheeky, real cheeky. I like it. But we're good, we're good. Holy. Holy. Alright. So we got hit by the negative 120. It was labeled as weather, sorry. But that's the drones. And separately, of course, there was the missile strike as well, which we could have missed. We could have missed, and it could have hit us, and that could have caused loss of life. It could have caused a huge hit to our hull integrity, because again, damaged buildings, right? It could cause fires. That's the danger of being too close to the Piranesi. That was, oh boy, I am glad I caught that the moment it happened, because I didn't even see it on the map. It could have been like a fraction of a second away from hitting us. So that was, oh boy, that could have gone a lot worse. Now we got to be ready, because we are in the middle of travel as construction is going to begin as well. I'm hoping we arrive at 12F to at least get rid of that negative 45 quickly enough, and then we can focus on the Faraday cage in its entirety. Now again, remember, we are able to cancel, or not cancel, but pause construction partway, external construction included, which means we should be fine if things get a little shaky. I don't necessarily think they will, but I want to be prepared for the worst, as it looks like we're just about ready to begin construction on the Faraday cage. Okay. Okay. Not the end of the world. We've actually managed to get things figured out. That's not bad. Now, they're going to launch a drone swarm fairly soon, I'm fairly certain, and that'll shut 12F down for us. Plenty of iron and silicon and stuff over here, which is why I like 12F so much. And hull integrity is dropping real hard right now, which means, of course, we have enough polymers, and we are, in fact, building the Faraday cage. Will we see construction happening? Perhaps not. We will see another cyber attack. That's okay. That's okay. Close that transmission. Back to the interior we go. Looks like construction's actually happening pretty quickly, but I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. Let's go ahead and Christ, I can't believe it's literally... How did I not notice that, man? How did I not notice that this was in the off position? God. I'm sorry. But hey, in a state of panic, sometimes you miss things. Alright, back to Sector 2 as well, because this one needs to be turned on. There you go. Wow. Listen, I feel a little goofy about that one. But look, it worked out last session, alright? It worked out. We good. Back to the exterior. I want to see construction. Maybe there'll be a visual change. I assume there will be. It's a whole cage we're building around our station, right? So I'd expect something. But I also need to keep an eye on our hull integrity. We're at negative 120 per cycle. We've got about, 4 cycles left in us. Less, actually. 3 cycles left in us. But if we look at the interior real quick, construction is about halfway done, so I think we'll be okay. And we'll be ready to pull the trigger on the pulsar. I wasn't actually expecting it to be so soon. I really thought we were a lot further behind. And now I'm kind of wondering if I regret building the, or replacing the waste treatment center with the polymer refinery. Not really. It's okay. We have alternatives. It won't hurt to have more polymers. Who knows what we'll need in the next system, right? Who knows when we'll need what resource? It doesn't hurt. Carbon has been stockpiled for so long. So short. No regrets. 98% done, 99% done, and...
The Piranesi has activated more subsystems. Its threat level has increased. He will attack more frequently.
Okay, but I don't see... I guess I didn't see a visual change. I don't know if I just didn't notice it, and if you noticed it, feel free to point it out to me, but I didn't see any visual change when we finished our Faraday cage. I expected it to be a rather large... superstructure, especially considering how many polymers were invested in it. Nonetheless, folks, it is time now to pull the trigger on the pulsar with this drone swarm headed towards us, and with the Piranesi getting that much more aggressive. Let's go ahead and see exactly how this plays out. I'm pretty sure Einstein's about to go, but only one way to find out. Transmission from the Einstein's crew. Icarus 3 is ready for launch. Wake the pulsar. The Einstein team will launch Icarus 3 and activate the pulsar. The pulse will neutralize the Piranesi. The Einstein will be destroyed in the process, but the crew will enter cryonic pods to survive the pulse. Well, that's nice. We'll lose the ship, but at least the people will survive. I assume that's only possible because we have researched the right technology. Whatever the case might be, I'm glad that the option is there. Let's wake the pulsar, because that's another 5 cycles we have to wait, which means we're going to have to leave 12F and make our way over to 12G, as the second last planet we have available to us, which isn't going to hurt our hull integrity. I'm going to give it a bit more time. I just want to try and repair a little bit more before we start moving, but you know what? I think we're out of time. These guys are just about to arrive. Let's go ahead and make our move to 12G. Let's go. 2.6 cycles, that's okay. I think we'll be fine. Look at that terrifying, ominous red backdrop. And that pulsar off in the distance. Loving it. Do I want to pull these guys back? No, I think they're fine. And here, when we go through this circle, we are taking a hit to our hull integrity as well. Okay, cool. Come on, push through. Back to repairs. There we go. Okay, good stuff. And we'll take a bit of a hit as well as we go past the Piranesi, but overall we're okay. I wonder, do we get to see the Piranesi as we skip by, or no? It should be like thereabouts. But no, I have my doubts. Let's keep going. Vulnerable to meteorological damage. That tells me we're in the drone swarm. So we do see the drones. That's a lie. These drones are scary as hell, though. It's such a simple visual, but it works. It's effective. And away they go. Okay, excellent. Let's take a look over here just to make sure that... Yeah, that was a lie, in fact. But the Piranesi is right on top of us. If it pops a missile right now, we're in so much trouble. I need to stay here. I need to stay on this screen, I mean. We're a bit faster than the Piranesi, so that's good. Imagine we hadn't done that upgrade. Would we be faster than the Piranesi, or would we be that much more screwed? I'm really hoping once the Piranesi gets shut down, all of its drones get shut down as well. That would make sense to me. It's kind of got like a, a central computer in charge that's ordering everything around. Once that central computer gets shut down, I would assume all of its processes shut down, and I imagine one of those processes involves the drones. So ideally all the drones will clear out, but once we've shut the Piranesi down, I don't expect there's too much left to do here, right? We'd probably scavenge it for parts, maybe, well, not maybe, but definitely seek out the coordinates, because I don't think we actually got those, right? With the previous science team that was in there. So I think we'll have to go back in there for that, and then we'll be able to leave the system. And truth be told, from a resource perspective, I'm feeling pretty good. All of our numbers are looking like as high as I would need them to. So I'm comfortable on that point. There's no reason to sort of stay here for longer than necessary. As soon as we're done dealing with the Piranesi, as soon as we have the coordinates for our next destination, I say we get a move on, right? God, our next jump is going to be from 12G down to 12E. That's a long one. That is a long one. A little worried about that one, I'll be honest. But we're going to arrive at 12G. In fact, we already have, just rotating into position. The rings look so beautiful. And with that done, I just want to check, just for posterity, what is the timeline here? 3.5. Okay. Missile coming our way. Launch the countermeasure. That could have been a lot more dangerous just a handful of seconds ago. And this thing's already on us, man. Oh my god. Okay. I'm glad that we have the slightly faster charging as well, but... oh, might not be enough. This was... how much was this? 3.5 cycles. So no, yes, 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 no. This sector might hit a blackout. Getting really close. We could stop over at 12H first, but that's a lot of damage we'll be taking while we're kind of stationed there. This might have been a bad call. Maybe I should have just gone to 12E instead. Come on, charge a bit faster here. 2.5. Okay, hang on a second. Slow time down for a moment here, because we got to head over to Sector 5 and turn some things off. That's all we got to do. Let's go ahead and, first of all, I guess we don't need polymers as badly anymore, so we'll stick with alloys, and we'll stick with alloys for you as well. But for the time being, let's turn you and you off. That's 3 cycles worth of batteries. Let's go ahead and turn you off as well, 3.1 cycles. And actually, if I turn the nuclear power plant on, shouldn't it generate power regardless of us moving? It shouldn't be reliant on these solar panels, right? So we should be fine on that front. Not gonna test it out. Let's turn the fire station off as well. That's a risk, but a worthwhile one, I think. Let's go ahead and turn this stockpile off too. Takes us to 3.3. I don't want to turn the Exo Fighting Dome off. Let's turn this stockpile off, 3.4. How about the workshop? 3.5. And I believe that's what we need, right? 3.5 is exactly what we need. So I'll be a bit more comfortable if we're actually sitting at 3.6. Let's turn this guy off, take us up to 3.6, and then hope to God that we charge our batteries quickly enough. Again, these are 2 tier 2s, eh? If we take a look at our tech tree, battery... oh, we're maxed out. We actually can't charge any faster. We're maxed out. Okay, alright, fair enough. So it is what it is. This will have to do. You are at 3.5 exactly, so Sector 1, what can we switch off over here? Is there anything? Is there anything? I suppose I could switch the fusion station off. Momentarily. 3.6 cycles worth of batteries? Sure. Gotta move. We gotta move. 1.3 cycles left for the pulsar. That's all well and good. Let's head on down to 12E. 3.5 cycles. Let's move. Because we gotta go. We gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. The Piranesi is right on top of us once more. Like, way too close. Way too close. 3.6 cycles is enough. That gives us a little bit of wiggle room as well, so I think we'll be okay. Not a big fan of where all of our ships are positioned, but again, we're not too reliant on what they're carrying, because from a resource perspective, we're actually doing okay. How do we have so much silicon? Oh, you know what? There must be a ship on board right now that's delivering the silicon. That must be what's going on. So we're okay. We're going to go through this drone swarm over here momentarily, but hull integrity is looking okay overall. So that's all well and good. And I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. We'll turn these things on eventually. But yeah, the nuclear power plants, we haven't used them yet, but in theory, they should operate without any trouble even while we're moving, right? Because they're... I understand the solar panels needing to be, I don't know, folded or whatever it might be, otherwise not working, even though visually I would say they should be operating, right? But it is what it is. It is a video game after all. For whatever reason, the solar panels don't work, but I imagine interior structures should operate. Are we going through the drone? Yeah, we are. Just momentarily, we should be okay. And these guys are ready to, well, blow, I guess. Let's check it out. Icarus 3 has detonated and activated the pulsar. The crew of the Einstein had time to enter cryonic pods before life support infrastructure was neutralized. Ship destroyed. The Einstein. Ready for extraction. 5 cryonic pods. I'm glad that our crew made it out. That does make me genuinely happy. But there you have it. The Monsters Awakening. End DLP.
The Piranesi has been defeated.
That's it?
Caution. Entering stellar storm.
Close transmission. Seems as though it is staying stagnant. Let's send the Fermi over to investigate. And we might actually turn around and head towards 12H to pick up the cryonic pods here as well, because it does look like, as I sort of assumed, all of the drone swarms have been neutralized alongside the Piranesi. Oh my goodness. Oh. For real, sigh of relief there. That got a little tight at the end there. Literally, in some cases too, that thing was right on top of us, launching missiles from like what felt like a few feet away. That was scary. That was scary. But you know what? No additional loss of life. We took minimal damage to our hull, you know, at times through the drones and stuff. It worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well. My heart right now. Killing me. All right, let's make sure that we are actually picking these cryonic pods up. I don't want to leave anybody behind, obviously. So let's assign who? Let's assign Santa's sleigh. Let's assign you. Let's remove you from iron duty, because again, we're topped up on iron. Again, we're topped up on carbon. I suppose we could focus a bit on silicon over here. We have quite a few ships doing that, actually. Let's go ahead and adjust things a bit more. Bring more silicon in. Bring more ice in. Yep. Sounds good. Get ready to leave, pretty much, right? Yeah, sure, yeah. Let's get ready to leave. Science ship has arrived at its destination. That's the Piranesi. We'll take a look at that in a moment, because I think we don't want to stay at 12E. I think we'll want to charge up a little bit and make our way over to 12H. That seems like a better position. 12F works nicely as well, just because it's surrounded by all the silicon. You know what? There's plenty of silicon here as well, actually. So maybe we do stay at 12E. Since the storm here isn't actually a storm that causes trouble, I think we can stay at 12E. You know, I will say, I was hoping for a cutscene when we activated the pulsar. We got a nice little visual flare, semi-literally speaking, but I was expecting a cutscene. We had such a really nice, ominous one when the Piranesi awoke. That was really good. I really liked that. But then when we defeated it, that sense of accomplishment wasn't as strong as that sense of fear when it awoke. You know what I mean? I don't know if others feel the same way. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm enjoying this game thoroughly, but just because we love something doesn't mean we can't provide our feedback to it, right? And that would be one piece of feedback I have for this system. I didn't get that sense of accomplishment there. Now, maybe we'll get something when we investigate the Piranesi once more, but that should have been a moment, I think. Nonetheless, to that end, let's investigate the Piranesi once more, and I sincerely hope, you know what, I sent them in without thinking about it. I sincerely hope the threat is behind us, because the Fermi is at risk here. And after all that effort keeping it alive, it would suck to lose it at this point in time. Though, hang on a second. My apologies. I'm not trying to, like, bait and switch. I should come back here and turn these guys back on, just to make sure we are, you know, operating in Sector 5 as we should be. Get all these things turned back on, get you turned back on as well. Cool. Cool. Charge those batteries back up, and we should be good to go as well. Oh, you know what? Sector 1, right. Go ahead and get you turned on as well. Very important to stay on top of these things. But yes, back to the Piranesi. Let's see what's going on over here. Summary of intelligence on the Piranesi. The Piranesi has been disabled by the pulse. Its drones have been fried. Its missiles detonated. As the pulse hit, electrical arcs and explosions rippled across the ship's hull, the Tiqqun's crew standing witness all the while. Transmission from the crew of the Fermi. We have successfully entered the Piranesi through a breach in its hull. All the doors and airlocks not damaged by the pulse have closed. Most systems that are visible appear to have melted. The walls ooze a black, gritty oil. Proceed to the coordinates room. The Fermi's crew will make their way through the bowels of the Piranesi to reach the room where the devices are stored. Make our way. I've always loved that term, the bowels of the X, like whatever, like destination. It's always, I mean, it's bowels, right? So it's kind of got that like nastiness to it. Always liked it. I've always liked it. Let's go ahead and deprioritize these guys, please, to make sure that we're not traveling all that way when there are options right over here. High priority, please. High priority, please. Can you guys... Why are you still going up there? I've reassigned you. Damn it. They're committed. Well, what I could do, I suppose, is get the Pelican and the Drakkar coming back. Oh, the Drakkar is going for iron. We have iron over here, don't we? No, none of it's been mined. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's fine. Let them do what they want to do. We got a couple of cycles over here anyway. Let them do what they want to do and bring what they want to bring. That seems so wasteful. 4 of them too. What are you doing, man? Antislay, okay. Arch, Pelican, and Drakkar. All right. Drakkar, Pelican, Arch. Bring these guys back. Or reassign them. Hopefully they'll go to the right spot. It just seemed a little goofy. Because if we do want to leave sooner rather than later, we don't want to be sitting here waiting for them to come all the way back. These guys, meanwhile, are chasing after what? Ice over there? Suppose I could make my way over to 12C to pick them up if necessary. Do I need ice? Kind of. It's the only thing we don't have a surplus of. That and silicon, so I guess that doesn't hurt. There's none to pick up nearby. This stuff needs to be mined still. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, alright, fine. That's okay. I guess ultimately, if we move to 12L or 12C to intercept them before we leave the system, that's not the end of the world, right? Back up to the Piranesi, almost done over here. There's another half a cycle left to go. And as far as our interior situation is concerned, I mean, everyone's happy. Loyalties through the roof. Chronic pods are topped up. Oh, did I forget to... I did. Flip you back. Let's get those bodies moving, eh? Get those bodies moving. Are you still active? You are indeed. Sector 5, have you grown in worker count? I haven't kept an eye on if it's still workers or if it's all non-workers now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's all non-workers now. But, moment of truth, that number didn't change. What? What was that? I could also move some people around to take advantage of the Alternative Life Center. Yeah, it looks like it's all non-workers now. But yeah, I could move people around to get all the populations past 800. Because don't forget that the Alternative Life Center provides +3 to stability if population is past 800. But truth be told, with stabilities of like 5 and 6 and all that good stuff, we're fine. Why is From Fear of the Piranesi still active? That should be gone. And we're about to leave the system too. That's another -2 gone until it comes back in the next system. But like, we're fine. Stability is okay. Back up to the Piranesi. Transmission from the crew of the Fermi. The interior of the Piranesi has been severely damaged. Blue fire still flickers in corners of the ship. Whole areas have collapsed in on themselves. Some of the debris looks almost organic. We have taken pictures of what appears to be a biological neural network seemingly used in the activation of the ship's airlocks. Drones litter the floor and hang from broken piping. On our way to the storage location, we passed a huge translucent pod. Decaying bodies float in the white bath of liquid it contains. You can see the color of their uniforms. Crew from the Etamananki. Despite the many obstacles, we have reached the devices that hold the Remus coordinates. We are ready to activate transfer. What is going on over here? Some weird, like, biofuel kind of a thing, or... is this like an experiment going on? That's messed up. I was so busy thinking that we might be the bad guys since the beginning of this run. The more I learn about the other parties involved, the UN and the BMS, I feel like we were, despite being terrible people, we were still the good guys in, you know, like relatively speaking. But, alright, end the data listening protocol. We gotta bring the Tiqqun over, eh? The Tiqqun needs to be in orbit of the Piranesi. Okay, that's not trouble. Go ahead and make that move right away, I suppose. There's no reason to wait. Again, not the optimal spots to be in, but we'll wait for some of these ships to arrive, and then we'll make our way over. Again, of course, as some of them arrive, some of them leave. So, make of that what you will, I guess. But let's have the 3 of them arrive, and then we'll make our way over. These guys are on their way back as well. That'll be fine. They'll be coming up this way. That's okay. And it's time for us to move. Let's go. To the Piranesi, 3.1 cycles. We should be fine, I'm pretty sure. Fairly confident. Should have checked, truth be told, but I'm fairly confident we're okay. Man. That was intense. That was intense. That was intense. That was really cool. That was really cool. It was really cool, and it was a really interesting way to implement. Like, it's not like the game suddenly changed how it played. You know, it was still familiar systems. It was still like the same core concept and gameplay loop in action, but it was doing completely different stuff. We were fighting. Well, we were defending ourselves. But you know, preparing a weapon at the same time. That was, I don't know, that was really nicely done. I'm really pleased with that, actually. That was really nice. God damn. I'm really liking this game, man. I've been loving it since pretty much the beginning, since the reveal at the end of the prologue, and it's just been great ever since. I wonder if I should deprioritize some of the stuff down here just to avoid needless travel times. Go ahead and turn all you off. We still need, we don't need additional silicon, but we could use additional silicon, I suppose. Ice. Food is still looking okay. If I did want to produce better food, or more food, I could improve the crop farm a bit further, I think. Yeah, personalized instructions. The 40% bump to food production, that's not bad. Research that, actually. Just to further increase that 124% to something higher. Mushroom wall has been upgraded all the way. That's all well and good. Could I fit another mushroom wall in Sector 1? I don't think so, right? No, we can't put it up over here. We'd have to, like, get rid of the batteries and reposition them or something, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Worst case scenario, we might want to consider the algae farms, I suppose, because they supposedly do bring out more food, but they don't produce waste. Right. I remember that. They don't produce waste. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We haven't got there yet. Not even close, I don't think. So we're okay. We're okay. Back to the system map over here. So once we get to the Piranesi, it'll be a handful of cycles before we're ready to pick up the coordinates, and then we can see what comes next. That looks so cool as well, all these ships following us. Is there any silicon up over here that's been mined already? Yeah, we got some up over here, so that's good. There's some ice and stuff as well. We got these guys set as priority. They don't really need to be. Deprioritize. Good stuff. Let these guys make their own decisions. The tension has reduced now. The panic is gone. We're in a calmer spot now. We don't have to worry as much about the nitty-gritty, you know, who's going where. So with the additional technology, we're at 128%. Did that go up from 124 to 128? I can't remember now. Or did it not register a change just quite yet? I do see that our average balance is a negative, but I don't think that's an accurate representation of how things actually work out. Keep an eye out for it, obviously, but I think we're okay as we're about to arrive. Or rather, we have arrived at the Piranesi. Drones are still swarming, I guess, but they're not really doing anything anymore. But yeah. The beast has been beaten. That's great. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it has to say as we connect the Tiqqun and extract the coordinates. Once the Tiqqun is connected, we will finally be able to retrieve the Vol coordinates to reach Remus and establish a new home. Exciting times ahead. Exciting times ahead. All right, let's wait out the 3 cycles, I guess. The 2.9 cycles now. Let's collect what resources we can and make our way out of here. I assume that's the last step in this system. Search the Piranesi again for the Remus coordinates. I guess I could go back to the interior over here and make sure we have a probe at the ready. Hang on a second now. Can I switch to the probe? I guess I have to dismantle you. Okay. As long as there's an option to dismantle as opposed to needing to fire the countermeasure, because then we'd have soft-locked ourselves, basically. It looks like we kind of just, like, dropped it off there, eh? But nonetheless, let's go ahead and build a probe, just to make sure that when we do arrive at the next system, we have a probe on hand to find resources immediately, though, again, we're not in a rush for resources. We're nowhere near in a rush for resources. My goodness, food production is also ludicrous. Just absolutely ludicrous. I'm trying to figure out if I do want to do a medium stockpile over here just to make sure throughput continues, right? Because otherwise, we're just being kind of wasteful, I guess. 64 food there, 100 food there. These guys have like a bit of food here and there. 12, 12, 12. I wonder. Because the medium is able to hold just a little bit more, right? And we have some room over here if we wanted to, you know, get an additional stockpile or two. Maybe. We'll think about it. We're not in a rush. We're not in a rush. Speed time up a little bit. Get this 1.4 cycles done. And then move along, yeah. God. What a terrifying endeavor that was. Absolutely terrifying endeavor. But hey, it's behind us now. Literally. Jokes aside though, no, that was great. That was great. Really pleased with how that played out. I do still wish there was a cutscene. I do still wish there was a cutscene when we blasted it, you know? And I get it, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. Easier said than done. 100%. 100%. Would have been nice. I don't think it's the end of the world that the game doesn't have a cutscene for that moment, but it would have been nice. We're ready to go, I guess. Body of the Beast has been completed. Let's take a peek. Transmission from the crew of the Fermi. Transfer is complete. All lights are green. We took advantage of the time it took to recover the coordinates to analyze what was left of the systems on board the Piranesi. The use of its main weapon and the Etamananki's defensive efforts left it terribly weakened. The ship seems to still vibrate with what perhaps could be called its final breaths. It should not be long before it fully collapses in on itself. We should get as far away as possible. When this amalgamation of evil technology breathes its last at the end of its agony, it could be devastating. Thought you were a scientist. Turns out you're a poet. New objective. At the end of it all. Vol jump to your next destination. I say we vol jump from right next to the Piranesi. Punish it before we leave. People are making one last swing at a couple of resources here and there. Are we ready to go? I think we're ready to go. What else could I possibly need over here? We've picked up the cryonic pods, right? I just want to make triple sure. Yes, no cryonic pods listed over here. No cryonic pods listed over here. Cool. So that's all well and good. We've picked up our colonists. No colonists left behind. We got all the cryonic pods from over here as well, so that's all well and good. Those guys are slowly being woken up. I guess we're good to go. And launching right next to the Piranesi makes sense to me. Destroy this this machine of pure evil and malevolence. We got a probe ready. Let's get the Fermi back to the Tiqqun. And let's prepare our vol jump. I think we're good to go, folks. Let's do it. Charge the IXION engine. And let's wait for Frau Stanford procedures. Having all ships return. I was wondering if I let these guys, pick some stuff up before they make their way back, but they're fine. They got some stuff on board. Stuff they can't even offload. So it's fine. Call them back in. And let's leave. Oh, man. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. I'm curious to see what the next system holds. Curious to see what challenges come with it. I'm curious to see what happens with this jump. Let's go.
Jump complete. Running preliminary diagnostics. I sense Remus. We have reached the Ilia system. Structural failure of the Tiqqun is near. We should initiate the Neocond colonization protocol.
All good directives from Eden. As we receive our objective over here, Final Horizons, find Remus. Let's take a look at the system map real quick. Make sure we're paused just so that nothing takes advantage of us. And things look eerily calm. It can't be that easy. It can't be that easy, can it? We got plenty of science available at Palatine, so we'll go ahead and pick that up, and I guess we just finish researching everything that's left to research. Let's not forget, though, there is still this one last remaining question mark over here. I'd assumed it would have something to do with the Piranesi, but I suppose it instead has something to do with maybe colonizing Remus properly, or, I don't know, something in this system, I assume. Definitely feels like this would be the final system, if this is in fact where we find Remus. I don't know if it's going to be a happy ending or a sad ending, but it feels like the ending is near. And I can't imagine the game will make it too easy. Or, you know, we hit the climax with the Piranesi, and now we're headed towards resolution, and so things are going to be calmer and a bit more manageable. I want to get my hopes up for that, though. But yes, there's plenty of science to pick up already. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting stuff to investigate. I'm sure we might still lose lives because of, you know, various opportunities to do research. But we shouldn't be too restricted with regards to technologies we unlock as we seek out additional points of interest, seek out our objective as well, which I'm sure will be marked separately. Yeah, somewhere over here. There we go. I guess that's Remus. And there's plenty of resources as well, so it's not like, you know, we're in that situation where, like, oh crap, if you don't have enough saved up from previous systems, you're screwed. It's not like that either. So I suppose we seek out Remus. I suppose we begin the colonization procedure as soon as possible, because I'm sure it'll require quite a few colonists. We'll have to train them up and all that good stuff, and we only have how many so far? We got about 500 and 640 something in that world, 650, something like that. That should be enough, but maybe it's not. We have a lot of non-workers still, so I imagine we'll need at least a handful more colonists, and we are still preparing them. We have a handful of non-workers left in Sector 3. We should move some more over just to make sure that the process doesn't stop, and just to make sure that we are, making progress as quickly and as smoothly as possible, because don't forget, hull integrity now is also at about the halfway point. If I do put down some hull temples and research the upgrades there, I could sort of recover a bit of hull integrity, but otherwise we're in a pretty rough spot over here as we have about 500 hull points, let's call it. Hull units, I suppose the game calls it. Sounds a little tight. We're okay, though. Unless something comes up and starts chipping away at it. Whatever it might be, folks, we won't find out until next time. I think this is a great spot to call it a session. Bit of a shorter one today, I hope you don't mind, but new system, let's leave it for a new episode, right? This was intense. I'm really glad we managed to pull off the pulsar and did it relatively smoothly, actually. I really thought we would have fallen behind with regards to our polymer count, but that worked out okay. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes a very big difference in just letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel. As always, as well, of course, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.